Hi everyone, just want to run through this idea I had for a concept survival axe. I picked this axe up a couple of months ago now. The first thing that drew me to buy it was the fact that the handle's hollow. The handle is about getting on for 2 foot long. The axe head itself is it's 1.4 kilos, so it's not massive, but it's substantial enough to chop you some shelter wood. It's got this notch as well. I don't know how much stick you could give the handle for leverage, but if you had to break something down that was nailed together, obviously that's an added extra. And the back of it's nice and flat for use as a hammer. I've also filled the handle up, and it holds just over 1/4 of a litre of water, so if you had to use it as an emergency water container, you could. The general idea I had for it was to, like some of the old survival knives, actually put kit inside the handle. And obviously you can't just go stuffing a load of kit inside the handle and not be able to retrieve it. So the idea I've come up with was to make 3 tubes that would fit inside the handle, and then fill those with survival kit. So that's what I'm just going to do now, and show you what I'm packing in there, how I'm going to make this into a survival axe really. So I'm going to run through it. So here we go. First step is the tubes. Through trial and error of different bits of pipe that I had kicking around, I had this piece of aluminium tubing which is the exact diameter of the main hole. It opens out as it flares out, so obviously had this, and then I noticed that they had some sweets. It was like a pump spray candy, and the tube looked about right in the shop, so I brought a couple of them, and it's pretty close. So I took those, cut the ends off, and I put some chrome reflective film on one of them for maybe an emergency signal. In bright sunlight might get some glare off it. So yeah, those are the tubes. Wad a piece of cotton wool tight down in the end of the handle for a bit of impact and shock resistance. And the other thing that I'm going to fit into the handle, which all fits, is this knife as well. So obviously you've got the capability of chopping with the axe, and having a knife for maybe preparing something you've caught for food, or for harvesting, or just general purpose activities with a shelter building whatsoever with, a knife. So I'm just going to run through now what I'm going to put in the tubes. The reason I chose to do the tubes was, obviously if you had one great big tube and packed a load of stuff into it, you'd have difficulty getting it all out. Obviously in the wild you'd be able to find a stick of a diameter that will fit inside to push your stuff out, but I thought breaking the tubes down into 3 just made more sense, much easier to get your stuff out. So I'll just run through what I'm actually putting in there. This first plastic tube has got 5 waterproof survival matches and 6 water purification tablets. They're already in there. And then I've sealed the end with a bit of blue tack. You can just hook that out with a stick, just keeps everything in there. Seal it at both ends. So that's what I've put in the first tube. But in the second one, I'm going to differ slightly. I'm going to put the matches into this one, but I'm also got this small roll of cotton, and I've just sealed one end up, and inside, obviously where it's wrapped around a hollow cardboard tube, got this small plastic wrap, and inside there I've got 3 sewing needles and some fish hooks and a couple of small lead fishing shots. So that gives you a fishing kit instantly, straight away. And then I'll seal the end of that up and pop those in, and that's the 2 plastic tubes full then. Well, that's the 2 plastic tubes filled and sealed. So we've got 10 matches there, so theoretically 10 fires. There's the fishing kit, hooks and weights, some sewing needles, some thread, so kit repair, possibly temporary sutures if you had a really deep wound that you needed to immediately try and close. So there's that. The metal tube, we've got here a biro chamber which I've just melted with a lighter and blobbed it over to seal it, and it had a screw off end cap which I melted and sealed, but that's filled with salt, and obviously you can use that for treating, first aid for treating a wound, and also it's good to carry salt because obviously as you sweat and move your body gets through salt, and it's good to just replenish your salt content, so you can stick some of that in your water supply and help replenish your body's salts. So I've got that, I've got some fishing line, another 6 water purification tablets, so in total in the axe handle there'll be enough water purification tablets to treat 12 litres of water. And to help pack out the end, there's a couple of zip ties. You can use those for loads of things, so like kit repairs, bag strap repairs, holding anything together, so they'll always come in handy. So I'll fit all that into that tube. I'll do that now. Right, so that's the alloy tube filled as well and sealed off, just a bit of blue tack at each end. Could polish this tube to obviously do the same job as this, but just for the purposes of this video, just show you now. I've obviously already wedged a piece of cotton wool down to help with impact absorption, so you can still use the axe with all this kit in there. The plastic tubes go in the very end, and then last but not least the knife, which sits in, and you'll see it's quite open at the end, so the idea I've got for that is to just pack a ton of cotton wool in to hold everything, and then also that gives you this tinder as well. So I'll pack it all in, seal it with some duct tape, and that's the handle packed, ready to go. So I'll do that now. As you can see, I've well and truly packed that whole big handful of cotton wool down inside that handle, so there's plenty of tinder in there, and that's going to stop anything rocking around and moving if the axe is used for chopping. So there you go. I'll cap it off with some tape now. So there's the end sealed up. All the survival contents are inside, and the last thing I thought I could do was make use of the handle to store some cordage. So I just got a slip loop knot, and yeah, just going to wrap a ton of cordage around just below the head. So I think that'll always come in handy for shelter building, trap building, repairing kit, anything you can think of, and endless possibilities, replacing bootlaces. So I'm going to get on and do this, and then show you the finished product. So we have finished survival axe. A ton of cord wrapped around the top, all the kit contents sealed inside. So in theory, in this axe, obviously you do your own, as long as you can source an axe with a hollow handle. I've got the capability to chop, so for shelter building, firewood, cordage for shelter building. With the tinder matches, there's a scope for 10 if you split the matches, possibly more fires. Enough water purification tablets to purify 12 litres of water. Fishing kit, obviously you can use the cordage for snares, so you've got the ability to hunt. Obviously signalling capability with the chrome surface, and yeah, I mean the salt for the first aid treatment, and obviously to help keep you at peak fitness and at the best of your ability to replace the salt you lose, and the sewing kit inside, which could double up for first aid treatment. So yeah, all round I think it's a good idea. And like I say, you can even use the handle for a water container if you didn't have one, so it's just a grab and go tool. Yeah, I hope you like the concept of it. So yeah, if you see someone start flogging these on eBay, you know where the idea came from. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much. Please subscribe to my channel for more survival tips and bushcraft videos. Thanks a lot.